All right, so over here we've got a engineering drawing, and in this engineering drawing we're going to be adding a few different views of this section. The part we've got here is the forged version of the solid part, and that forged version we're going to be trying to create the overall engineering section. Now, there are a few features that we can use in an engineering drawing. Over here in the view layout, there's different types of views that we can try, including the section view, the detail view, broken out views, break views, and so on. So we'll look at each one of these different views that we can put in. We can also dimension the component. So here's the annotation menu. And here we can put in all of the different types of dimensions. So you've got the smart dimension, model items, balloons, which you can put in, surface finishes, tolerances, and a range of other things as well. So surface finish and tolerances, they're important when you're doing manufacturing. If you want to tell someone, I need this surface to be ground flat, that's how you communicate that to the person. So these are the two common ribbons that you're going to be using most of the time. There are other features in here to evaluate things like the mass and measure different sections and to sketch new components onto your drawing. But most of these things would already have been done when you've done your feature already. So once you've already drawn the component. Okay. So the first tool we're going to look at is something called the section view. So this one here. By clicking on the section view, we can see a range of different ways that we can cut the component, and we'll see that by default it's got the vertical line. There's a vertical line that's trying to be drawn to that we're going to cut that section at. Here I'm going to change it to horizontal, and we're going to look at a section view that cuts through halfway along that handle. So if I click on the handle, don't click on the drawing yet. So if you go down here, we can look at the overall sketch. Now, if I click on the green tick, we get options about how that sketch is going to look like. So see, we've got a section view and what it looks like if we cut it at that position there. We can change different options here. So there's annotations that we can put in. There's an option at the top called partial section that we should collect, and slice section. So at the moment we can see what the rest of the body looks like in the background. If I click on slice section, we'll only see just what that component looks like from that slice. So if I went up to the top here and clicked on flip direction, you'll see the rest of the part showing. And then if I go down and go to slice section, we only see just that part without the rest of the body showing. There's another option that we should click is partial selection as well. So we just have that section, and I can also change the name of that section as well. So if we go up here, there's a default name that says A. We can leave that as A and then click on the green tick. Now I should be able to click on the drawing. I'll try that again. So section view, section, we've got that cut. The cut should be at that position. Click on the green tick here. Click on partial section and slice section. And then if I click down, we'll create a drawing of that section. Here it's gone to name it B. I actually want to change that to A. And also there's an option to change the scale. So at the moment it's using a scale of 1 to 2. And we can change that to use the sheet scale if we want. And then the scale or the size of that will be the same as the size which is being used in the drawing at the top. Okay, so if I click on the green tick, and then here we've got a section view of that component. It creates a label, and we've got the component automatically lined up with that section there as well. Now, what we would like to do sometimes is take that component. If we right click, and there's an option in here to say alignment. And sometimes we want to move that section view so it's somewhere different to where it's lined up. If I break alignment, I can take that section and move it to somewhere new. So before I wasn't able to do that. Now it's automatically putting dimensions in here. In this case, I actually don't want the dimensions to show up. And here we've got that section view. I can create a section view for the shaft. So if you remember before, it was a circular section. If I click here and click on the green tick, we can create a cut that goes through, and we see that there's a circular section showing. If we click on partial section and slice section, we see just the circular section being shown. And also if we change the scale to use the sheet scale, it'll increase to a size which matches up with the sheet scale. So it's actually set up to be a 1-to-1 scale. And if I click, it'll place the object. I could also change the name. So if I wanted that to be section B and click on the green tick, here I've got section B. You'll see a B showing up on the drawing, and then also up here an A showing that part being sectioned or cut at that position. Okay. Now if I want to break the alignment again, so alignment and break alignment, and then I can take that section and move it to a new position and get rid of that dimension if I want. So we can see what that component looks like. We see that there's that kind of this section here where the handle is, and a circular section at the handle part. Okay, another kind of view which I'd like to put in is we can put in the side view of what that whole overall section looks like. Now to do that, all we do is we go into model view, and we've got the ratchet body open, and with that view we can change the or we can select the part and click on this arrow to the right, which is next, and here we can pick the different views that we want to see. If I click on the right view, we'll be able to see a right view which I can place into this region here. We can also change the scale. So at the moment I just want to use the sheet scale. So it's a 1-to-1, and then we can place the part into there. We could do that for, it automatically sets it up so we can place the other views. So it's automatically allowing me to place a bottom view and a top view here. But in this case, I just want that this drawing. At the moment, it's too big for the page. So there is a way to break the section. So if I click on break and click on the drawing that I want to break, we can create a cut section which goes between the left hand and the right hand side of that section. For this, I'm going to put a size of 30 millimeters, and we can cut it from the left hand side to the right hand side, and you can see that there's a gap which is being created here. I can do that again, so a gap size of 30 millimeters, and we can also create a cut for the handle. And this sets it up so that we can place the a section for the handle here and a section for the handle there. All right, so green tick. Now what we can do is also take this section here and try to put it into a position where it's exactly lined up with that section. So if I go to, if I click on that object, right click and alignment, I can align this object based on the origin of other drawings. So if I click on align horizontal by origin and click on this drawing, it's now automatically lined up horizontal with that section. So if we want it to be perfectly in the correct place, we can do that. So we can do that again for section B. So section B, right click, go to there was an alignment that should be there. So right click and alignment, and then align sorry, a line horizontal by origin. And we can line up with this drawing, and then now the drawing, that circular section is lined up perfectly with that part. So now we've used the engineering drawing to try to reduce the amount of space that the drawing takes up, and we can still present the same information. So it's showing us the section view for that component. All right. Um, the next thing that we can go into is we can take the drawing and have a look at a detailed view. So there's an option here called Detail View. So just click on this option, and if we click in the center of this component, so about here, and drag it away and click, we'll be able to see a zoomed up view of what that component looks like. Um, there are options for how we can name it. So over here we can type in, say, head. So this is the head component of that section, and it would rename the name of that detail view and call it head. There are other options that we need to put into here. So for the scale, so we should use the sheet scale. So make sure that that's selected, and then we can just click here. So we've got a detail view of that component, and we can see the detail head section being shown. Okay. So the last thing here is, so we've got a component here. We've got the name of the sheet showing at the bottom. And what we could do is we can actually not only edit the part, but there's details in here that show tolerances and who's drawn it and the drawing number and so on. We might like to be able to go into the sketch and try to change these details. And you'll see that even if I click here, I won't actually be able to change those details without going straight into that component. So to change the details, you have to right click in the body of the drawing, so over here, and there's an option called Edit Sheet Format. And in here we can change drawings, we can type in details, so who's drawn it, we can double click and write C, OK, and type in whatever information there is about how that component has been made. So today's date is the 25th of May 2017. I can write 17 and so on. So there's automatic places that you can click. You can see that the cursor is changing from the sheet format logo to the A kind of logo. So if you click in the center, you'll go to that automatic place where you can add and edit the drawing. Okay, so we can close that edit sheet format by clicking on that icon that came up. So here it was there. And that is the drawing that we'd like to create. All right, so hopefully that's been helpful. So what we'll do is we'll try to go through that. So have a go at doing this.